We are now here at the Nevis Athletic Stadium, and we are having the CSS relays. We'd have missed a couple of races, but the point is the action is on, and so CSS starting the athletic season with Relay Fes here at the Nevis Athletic Stadium. So we have the three athletes representing red, green, and blue. And the action will be fast and furious. It's a 200-meter event, 4 by 200 meters, and so it's going to be pretty fast-paced. The athletes look pretty primed, pretty ready. And we have to be up in the stand because it's a rainy day today. Trying to protect the camera, and myself, of course. Well, I understand that we missed 2 races. Well, 1 really, and we got a bit of the second. So we're into the 3rd race now of the afternoon. The white flag is up, and the starter would be sending them on their way momentarily. The athletes are on the starter's orders, and they're off and running. So there they go, making the first turn, and seems to be 4 athletes in it. So I thought there were 3 houses, but I guess we'll have to wait and see how that works out. But we have 2 red house athletes apparently at the top and green, and then a red. The buttons will be passed off now, and here they come, making waves, coming around, and they will reach that 100-meter mark momentarily. So red's leading, moving along really nicely, strong strides, and will be passing off the baton momentarily. Brilliant strides, nice running here, and we'll pass off the baton now, and the baton's being passed off, and 1 athlete languishing, so you'll have to wait a while. So can anybody catch her? She's moving along really nicely, and green trying to challenge, blue right on her heels. It's a good race. Green is closing the gap on red. This is a good race. The final baton has been passed, but up at the top, it's a good close race this. Closing the gap nicely, green. Green has done really well. And now, close one now, as we have the final baton pass. Really good race this. Blue and red, almost side by side. Red trying to pull in, and it's Green, I think, trying to hold her own. It's a great race. Green is holding her own. Red is closing the gap. Can she? Will she? She won't. Green takes it. And then blue. But it was a good challenge by Red. Red really pushed it hard, but just couldn't, as Green held on to the end. And then Red would come through. So very good race that. Well, there are some 6 athletes in this one, and we'll be getting underway momentarily. Some 6 athletes, all of them looking ready, rearing to go. Starter will be sending them on the way momentarily. off and running. So let's see who is going to storm this one. We have Red House leading for the moment, Green closing the gap. And then there's a cluster of athletes closing the gap on the 2 lead athletes as well. So for the moment, well, it looks as if there's a guy in black, but I'm not sure which house he's representing. He has taken the lead, and he's going to pass off that baton first. So baton has been passed off. Out of the blocks, the athletes go. Batons have been passed, so they're chasing after him now. Let's see who is going to take this one. He's really storming away nicely. He's creating waves as he comes down. The final 40 meters. He's been chased here, but I don't think he'll catch him. But this teammate, maybe a little bubble there on both ends. As here goes. There goes 2 of the small athletes. Seems to be a little bit of a mix in terms of age group, and the others trying their utmost to catch up, but at the top is a tight run for the first place as the 2 athletes in white tops moving along nicely. Baton will be passed just about now out of the blocks to screens as the support crew in the pavilion cheering them on, but he's pulling away. And you could hear the excitement close to us. He's really storming away. He's taking this one hands down. My goodness, look at that. Rushing through to complete this race very strongly indeed. Wonderful finish. And that's Clark there in second, couldn't catch up. And the others. I would imagine that some of these athletes would be a little rusty. Their first outing officially for the year. And it's the start of the track season, and these guys are just getting into the action really, but already showing good momentum. Well, we're having the white flag at the far end. And here's where the big boys play. I think it's the under 20 age group category, because these are the big boys. And it's going to be fast paced, you can well imagine. So let's see what happens. About to get out of the blocks. The shouts and encouraging words already starting up behind us. And by the way, we are in the main stand area because of the rain. That's a false start. That's a false start. They need to stop them, but they can't get them stopped, so they'll have to rerun this race. They don't know that the race is, well, one of them has stopped. Gishard still is pushing because Gishard hasn't gotten the memo. So Gishard hasn't gotten the memo. His mom gives him the disappointing news that nobody's running with you. And he would have pelted away young Gishard. Oh, can he run right away? Or will they have to have a race in between? Track officials feel that it's a little funny, but I don't think Gishard would think that it was too funny. He can still smile about it, but I don't know if he can run again. He is willing to run again. He's a real sport. He's willing to run again. Can laugh about it now, but let's see if he can handle this. I think they're saying waiting to see if they need a little breather. I think they'll give them a little breathing space. And in terms of the kind of tainted humor that we have in the pavilion, one of the guys is saying that Gishard just set a new record. Gishard just didn't get the memo. Didn't realize he was running all alone at one point. I think they're still having a bit of a laugh about it, but I don't think Gishad would find it really, really funny. But he's getting a bit of a breathing space, he and the other athlete. There's a little lull in the proceedings right now. I think the other athlete was a little bit more blown, so he's back on the track now. Seems to be all ready, and the starter will be sending them on their way. Hopefully, this won't be a false start this time around. So, just about to get going. It has been a pretty rainy day so far. Not heavy rain, but disconcerting enough. And intermittent showers. They're off. Clean start this time. Let's see if Gishad can push it out as he did in the previous thing. He's holding his own. So there's a greenhouse athlete making waves on the inside, and he's just about to go past Gishad now. So he has gone past Gishad, and then there's another athlete closing in on Gishad. He must have been pretty tired, I could tell you. And so Gishad has done pretty well though. And out of the blocks, we have one athlete leading for the moment with two chasing after him. We are hearing the name of Excellence. So Excellence is in this one. They shout for Excellence as they rush down now. Here it goes. Nice finish. Passes up now. Here it goes. There is the athlete in green at the top, but there's an athlete in white holding his own. He's shorter in stature, but he's holding his own. He's closing in on the big man, but the big man is holding his own as well. The man in white now pulling back slightly. Final baton pass coming up. Passes off just about now. Green still leading. Can the man in white rush him down? He has a good lead. Anybody home? He's rushing around nicely. The greenhouse athlete is making waves. The final 80 meters, the final 40 meters, he's rushing away. He's been challenged, but not till next year will they catch him. This is a clean race, brilliantly completed. And that's the end of that one. Mommy's right there to congratulate. LJ was in second for Red House. Couldn't catch up. Well, it seems as if we're going to be having the 4x800 meter event shortly. It's still drizzling out there. It might be a little chilly as well. And you know, as it gets later in the afternoon, it's going to be a lot colder in terms of the atmosphere at the Nevis Athletic Stadium. The athletes seem pretty pumped up though. They seem ready, seem enthused. Well, the 800 meters seems to be junior girls. They're on their way. I think they have to do 2 laps around the track before they can pass off. So it's an endurance race. So no real hustle here for starters. And we have some 5 athletes in this one. From this distance, we are seeing 2 Blue House athletes, 1 red, and 2 greenhouse athletes. So moving along at a slow pace, but I guess they're just conserving energy. It's going to be a long one. So when they complete the first 400 meters, they have to go again. So it's all about relay action here for the Relay Fes for the Charlestown Secondary School. Earlier we recorded the road relay for the Charlestown Primary School, and the sports season is definitely on the way. We have some exciting action coming up on Friday with the St. James's Primary Road Relay, first ever, historic first, hosted by St. James's, but involving all of the primary schools on Nevis. First 400 meters completed. Blue House holding her own, leading for the moment. Then is green, then another blue, then red, then green. And I get the impression as if it's going to be a mixed relay, because I see some boys getting ready now at the starting lineup, so they're going to hand off the batons to a group of boys. So the girls running the first 800, and then the boys will pick up the action from there. Out front, still a blouse athlete, and she's now just about at the final 200 meter starting line, and no intent on increasing the momentum at this point. There's a greenhouse athlete languishing in the rear, and then there's a little bit of a cluster in the middle.
16 plus athletes, please make your way to the starting point. 16 plus athletes,
Blouse
please make
still
your way
leading
to the finish line, starting point. Your event comes up next.
So we'll have the 16 plus athletes next, and there's a leader in blue, and she'll be handing off to the group of boys who are waiting here. So the girls ran first, the first leg, the first 800 meters. And now we're gonna have the boys. The gap is being closed here though. The blue house athlete has fallen away. Her teammate has gone past another blue house athlete. She has increased the momentum. Nice sneak up, and then the first baton will be passed off. That's Bolo getting the baton, and can he hold on? Well, we have a star athlete here who I think will run him down in a moment, because he's a superstar athlete. But Bolo may have other intentions, who knows? Let's see how soon that gap will be closed. Well, the gap is just about being closed now, and he has passed Bolo as if he's in reverse. Can anybody else catch Bolo? I have my doubts about that. Pace not showing signs of such. But at the top, this man has been running well from primary school right through to Charlestown Secondary. He's a superstar athlete, young Newton. Completed the first 400 meters as easy as Sunday morning, and he's going to now challenge himself. Nobody really competing with him now. Challenge himself on the second 400. Bolo is being passed by another athlete, and Bolo may be passed by even another athlete. And remember, he got the baton first, but he's really tiring. I guess the English weather is what he needs, and he has passed him and pointed at him as if to say, Bolo, where are you? And he's actually a little bit of style in that. Said something to Bolo as he went past him, and he's gonna, let's see if he's gonna say something to this other athlete as well as he goes past him as well. What is he gonna do? Is he gonna say something? No, it was all meant for Bolo. But here's Kimani Newton finishing with a rush as he's gonna pass off the baton. Another group of girls come out. So it's boys, then girls, and then I guess boys will finish as he finishes with a rush here. Brilliant finish. Blouse athlete, female, goes out of the block looking cool, easy. And the others will have to wait. And where's Bolo? Bolo is way back now. Seems as if he has gone off to the UK. But we have two other athletes making waves here. The baton will be passed off just now, passed off, and the other one passed off. Keep your eyes on the one in the yellow tracks. She's another good athlete from since the Charlestown primary days. And Bolo being encouraged to complete the course. The first shall be last. The last shall be first. But the good thing is that he has endured to the end. And that's what it's all about, enduring to the end. So the leader of the pack is here. She has a very good lead. The second placer is all the way around here at the 100-meter mark, and the third placer is all the way back here. So very good run so far by the Blue House athlete. She still looks cool, calm, and composed as she goes past us now. Very, very much in control at this point. Red House trying to catch up though. And I think it's blue or green that is. Will be trying to see if she could close the gap. So going along smoothly, but at the top, Blue House still dominating. Red House looks determined, but the gap is being closed now. Definitely, she is running along nice and might just close the gap on red. But at the top, Blue still now at the 200-meter mark. 200 more meters to go, and she's struggling. Reality check, she's struggling. Red House also is struggling, but if she looks at the distance, you'd realize that she's closing pretty nicely if she can find a little more energy. But then green would be thinking the same thing. She's just about closing in on red as well. But red now finding a little momentum, pulling away, trying to close the gap on blue. Could be interesting on the final 100 meters. Could be really interesting on the final 100 meters. Can she dig deep here, red? She's closing the gap. Can blue pull away now? Does blue have any energy left? I doubt it. And red has left her. And also closing in on blue now is green. My goodness. Oh, blue has languished. She has burnt out. Now the boys take over. Now it's the turn of the boys. And the greenhouse athlete here has been lapped. She still has to bring in that baton. But the leader here is rushing away as if it's a 200 meters. Maybe he has forgotten that it's an 800-meter event. But he has clocked a pretty good time at this point. Moving along nicely. Red is more cruising and maybe thinking that I'm just going to wait until he's burnt out. But for the moment, that athlete looks really strong. Looks really strong. So here he comes. Moving along really nicely. Strong strides. And then red trying to catch up. And then that looks like green. Struggling somewhat. And third. And then at the top is blue. Still storming away. He has really kept this pace all the way through, basically. Well, no, that's not the leader. This is the leader of the pack. When they're pulling away, it's going to be red in second and then blue in third. So at the top, well, that's not blue in third, that's green in third. So blue at the top leading. The others are really behind. So they look as if they're in front, but they're really behind. But at the top of the pack is Blue House. Moving along pretty nicely. He's going to approach the final 100-meter mark now. And coming around and might try to lap this greenhouse athlete who's making sure that she's in lap, but I don't think I think she'll hold out. She won't be lapped. He really tried hard though. Completes the race nicely. Very strong finish indeed. And then red bows his way in. And then green comes in looking strong. We have green and blue trying to complete the course. Green and blue. Green is leading. Can blue make a race of it in the final couple of meters, 100 meters or so? And that doesn't appear as if it's going to be a reality. Green would pull away, continues to pull away. It's overcast here at the Nevis Athletic Stadium. It's rainy and in the distance, and we'll focus on that when this race is completed. We'll show you the kind of weather conditions we're experiencing here. So here's green and blue, and completing. No, he has to go around again. Blue is completing the course, but poor green has to go around one more time. Let's have a look at the weather conditions though. Look at the far end. We even have a rainbow and very overcast. At the far end there's rain at that side of the island, really pelting down somewhere. And it's drizzling here at the Mondo, but it hasn't stopped the event, and that's the good thing about it. Matter of fact, the athletes are basically not sheltering. They're out there waiting for their event, basically. There seems to be a group of junior boys that's been sent on their way. And we have some 5 athletes in this one. And now a group of girls will take over, quick passes. And a little bit of a rush here now. Excitement mounts. Red leading the way for the moment. Green, well, blue then green. Baton is being passed now once more. A little bit of a bungle up there, but Red House leading the way for the moment. Challenge now by Blue. Blue closing the gap nicely. It's going to be the final 100 meters. And Red leading for the moment, but Blue is trying to creep up here. But it looks as if Red is going to be a runaway athlete this afternoon. She storms away to take gold. Brilliantly done, brilliantly run. Really nice run that. Then we have blue, green, and then blue, and then green. Elijah Clark is in this one, and I think Jaim is the name of the athlete in the white top at the little bit of a false start here with Elijah Clark making a quick movement there. So have to be cautious and conscious of the fact that once the starter hasn't sent you on the way, it shouldn't be out of the blocks. So there's no gun for the starter today. There's a clapboard just about to get going. Clean start this time. At the top, it's like Jain, I think it is. And then we have Elijah Clark trying to close the gap. Passes off now, the buttons have been passed. Now it's a trio of girls. And green leading the way, red challenging nicely, blue closing the gap as well. Looks as if green will pass off first. But it's a close call because a set of boys now, one of them pulling away from the others. So we have a clear leader and he passes off now. The final 100 meters, can anybody catch up? It's another set of girls and Red House athlete, she's shorter than the others, but she's pulling away and she's going to hold on to that lead. Storms away to take gold. Green comes second and then red. Well, Red House leading for the moment, and then we have the baton passed off. I think somebody's saying run excellence, so apparently excellence is in this one. And then we're going to have the final 100 meters. Who's going to take this one? It's a mixed 400 meters relay. Here's the run, here's the run. Great run this. Can she close the gap? It's a close one. Close call. I think she has done it. Great race that. Well, we have another 4x100 meters race. There's two houses represented in this one, green and blue. Blue is passing off first, and a little bit of a bungle there. So green can catch up maybe, but maybe she's not quick enough. Blue leading the way, green struggling to catch up. So right now blue has a good lead and will pass off just about now. So blue passes off, and blue leading the way, green now looking quick. Closing the gap nicely. Blue is struggling. Green will overtake just about now and will pass off the baton first. Now, who is the quicker of the two here on the final 100 meters? Green is pulling away. Blue is trying to catch up. Green, though, is holding her own, looking very strong. Blue is closing the gap, though, but too little, too late. Green will take it. Now it's a group of boys, 4x100 meters. We have red, green, and blue. Red is leading the way for the moment, and I think we'll pass off the baton first. Just about now. Red passes off the baton, and red relaxing at the top. Blue and green hustling, especially blue, seems to be closing the gap, but red will pass off first, still maintaining a bit of a lead. Red passes off now. Blue chasing hard though. Red leading for the moment. Blue and green trailing. And red has lengthened the lead somewhat. Final 100 meters coming up. Who is going to take this? Nobody's going to catch red. I doubt it very much. Red is leading by a long stretch and lengthening the lead as well. Blue giving all he has, but can't catch up. Red storms home. Very good run that. And then comes green. The girls are on the track now and on the starters orders. 4x100 meters. I think these 4x100 meter races are the last set of races for the day. And these are the really quick ones. So here goes. Green leading, red closing the gap nicely. Red will close and pass first, I think. And then red out of the blocks quickly. Green trailing for the moment. Blue in the rear. But red going along nicely. And will pass off the baton well ahead of the others. So red passes the baton. Red still with a lead. Green trying to catch up. But it's going to be a hard one. Red will pass off the baton, and then it will be the final 100 meters. Can anybody catch red? I doubt it very much. Here's red leading by a long shot and really creating a storm. Green giving it her all, and so too blue, but not this year. There's red taking it easily. And then we have green, and then blue. We have some 5 athletes in this one, 4x100 meters. It's a boys event. And 5 boys in this one. And they're off for a clean start. First 100 meters is going to be a bit of a close-knit one. And then we'll start to see some separation. Passes off, no. Close passes, so this is exciting. The crowd getting into it. 3 athletes at the top holding their own, so it's going to be really great on the final leg, I believe. Out of the blocks, a little separation now with blue pulling away, but red trying to close the gap, and I think it's, well, green maybe going past him now as if he's in reverse. And then the final 100 meters. Who's going to take this one? It's going to be interesting. Oh, this is interesting. Delilah Clark is rushing, but he's being rushed as well. And somebody has pulled away. Well, that youngster pulled away. It was a good race, but Elijah Clark couldn't hold out. Well, I can tell you, the conditions have improved in terms of the rain easing up, but the wind has picked up. It's very chilly here now at the Nevis Athletic Stadium. Here's where you start to remember that you should have had a jacket. So definitely, it's really chilly right now. Well, they're off and running. These two ladies have been competing against each other for a long time. And the baton has been passed off just about now. And the second placer is closing the gap on the first placer. And they will go past her just about now. So she'll pass off the baton first. Can the other athlete do some catching up though? It's green trying to catch back up, and she looks as if she's about to do so. So it's a catching up kind of thing. Green is catching up on blue and goes past her as well. So now, who is going to take the final 100 meters? It's going to be close, I believe. Green and blue holding their own. Green and blue holding their own. Green and blue. It looks as if blue is having a bit of a lead. Green is struggling. Blue will take gold. Well, it's going to be boys now, 4x100, and should be pretty interesting. There's 6 athletes in this one. Starter will indicate once he has the white flag approval from the far end. He's just about ready. They're on the starters orders. Seem to be concentrating really hard. Clean start. So moving out nicely is the red outside. Very quickly indeed. He's gonna pass off first, and he's away. But the others are closing in nicely, so it could be interesting on this leg as red passes out first. And here goes. Any catching up? Well, there's green making some waves, but red still leading by a long shot, and he won't want anybody to catch him. Poor passing, poor button passing, and something went wrong. So green storms home. I don't know what went wrong with red, but it was some poor button pass. And look at, look who is here, young Busso. Young Busso. He said that the camera won't be able to stick with him, but he's here, number 9. Well, he seems to be debating when he can. That's Busso. He has completed the course. Number 9 on his shirt, maybe he came 9th out of 6. Well, apparently the 4x100 meters, that wasn't the last event. We are having the 4x400 meters, and we are having one starting with 2 athletes. So 2 houses represented, red and green. So they'll do the track once and then pass off the baton. Moving along at a pretty good clip. These are the junior boys, and for the moment red in second and green in first. At the 200 meter mark now, 2 of them at not a busy clip, just trudging along. And red now going past green. He has pulled away. Can green make a comeback? He doesn't seem to have that inclination. 100 meter mark now. Can we see a bit of a creep up? He's trying. He's definitely trying. He's trying to push, but red is pulling away as well. Red giving it his all. Green is trying to close the gap. At least he's closing the gap for his teammate. Red is struggling as well. 2 of them will pass off pretty closely. They are off. Buttons passed off almost simultaneously. So green and red. Moving along nicely. Not much in height difference here. Red in the inner lane. Dropping back slightly now. As green goes ahead. But you get the impression that it's not all over as yet. Red is going to come back, or green is going to burn out. Or both. So, for the moment, red seems to be the one languishing here. And maybe doesn't have any gas left in the tank. Green is holding his own at the top for the moment. And the lead is being lengthened big time. So red, almost as if he has given up the ghost there. Green definitely way in front. I'm not sure if there's any hope for red after this, in this particular race. Green storms away, seems to be gaining momentum, and will pass off just about now. So he can cruise, he literally can cruise, doesn't have to overexert himself, because red, as he puts his hand on his head, is like, what is this? What am I getting myself into? My teammate has let me down. Well, let's see what will happen here. He's scratching his head, he's looking and saying, how can I catch up that guy? He's all the way around there. And let's see what kind of energy he has. Well, he's giving it a shot. He's trying. He's giving it a shot as the red house athlete goes flat down. He seems to be in trouble. Where's the red cross? Well, Greenhouse leading the way out there by a long shot. And he's going to pass off the baton way ahead of red. You can almost call it now. Basically, you can literally call this. Green gets it and tears away. He's almost like laughing here because he knows that it's his race to lose. It's going to be an easy win for him. So, here he comes. Well, the Red Cross, they have arrived. Red Cross is here. So, the athlete will get some help. Red House will eventually pass off. Like a year after. He's going to give it a shot though. He's going to try. Being encouraged too. But I think you can call it. It's going to take a virtual miracle to catch this man as he cruises. Not overexerting himself, but now he says, I'm going to finish with a flourish. Look at that, finishing with a flourish. He knows he's a winner. He could have just cruised home, but he says, look here, I'm going to finish with a rush. And he does. Great finish. And the Red House athlete who took that baton last, he's really moving well. If he had only gotten it a little earlier, could have been more interesting. The drizzle has picked back up again. Seems as if it's going to be the order of the entire day. Red completes the race. Would be trying to make sure that his teammate is okay as he's being helped off the track by the Red Cross team. So another group of boys, some 4 athletes in this one. And they're off. Clean starts. Once around the track, then pass off the baton. Red House athlete already making waves, overtaking the leader. And then the other 2 athletes are not far off. Matter of fact, they're closing the gap now on the 2 leaders. So on the inside, Blue House seems as if he's going to take the lead as the drizzle persists. It has been that kind of a day. Lots of rain, not hard but persistent. As on the inside, looks like Blue still has a lead, but Red making waves now. Red trying to pull away. Red is pulling away. So Red has a bit of a lead and will pass off the baton first. So just about to pass off the baton, he does. And being challenged now, but for Newton. Newton is going to try to catch up. And it could be interesting. He's on the inside as well. And seems to be slowing up somewhat. But he's a very good athlete, and I think he wants to catch up on the Red House athlete. He's also being challenged by the other athletes close to him. So he's making a move now. Red House, he goes wide of him to get past him. So too does the other athlete. So the race is at the top. It's Newton and the other athlete at the top now. Red has picked up his position permanently in the rear. Here's the race. This is a real race. This is the real race. Newton pushing hard, being challenged. Newton it is who's going to pass off first. Good pass too. Well taken there. Can Blue hold on to that lead though, because Greenhouse athlete has done pretty well all afternoon as well. And he's on the inside. Well, both of them are running on the inner lanes now. So here's Red House trying to make some waves, trying to catch up. He has a lot of catching up to do too. Blue is pulling away, definite lead now. And I think that the athlete in second place is in problems because the third place is closing in on him. Meanwhile, the Blue House athlete seems to be in control of this. He's moving around nicely. Still with a lead. Still with a lead. Moving nicely. And the other athletes are waiting. Getting some encouragement there from Newton as he pushes towards the line and passes off to Clark. Can Clark hold on because he has had some challenges all afternoon. Some of these guys are also pretty quick. So can Clark hold out? He's moving along nicely for the moment. But it's not over yet. The other athlete looks cool. Stretching his legs nicely. But Clark moving a lot faster in terms of the pace of his feet as he's moving around. He still has a bit of a lead. So Clark still leading. Will make that turn with Newton giving some encouragement. Newton encouraging his teammates. So here's Clark pushing down now. Oh, running away with this. Running away with this. Even though the other athlete is giving it his all, I think it's too little, too late. Too little, too late. Clark will hold on. Clark holds on. Maybe if the other athlete had tried a little harder earlier, could have been more interesting. It was a very good run. Good challenge. So it's an all-girls event now. The Red House athlete has been running well all afternoon. She takes the lead. 3 athletes in this one. Red, gold, not red, gold. I think it's red, gold, and green. So red leading for the moment. She has done very well all afternoon. And they have decided that they want a good lead, so they'll put her to start and not to finish. And so second place is a good distance away, and third place also seems to be struggling, but at the top is the Red House athlete moving smoothly, and she has done very well all afternoon. On the final 80 meters or so now, she's rushing through. Really has done well, pushing nicely, and she's going to pass off that baton just in a few seconds. And will do so just about now. Passes off. So can this athlete keep the momentum? Well, the others will pass off now. Green and blue. Blue passes and then green. So blue will want to catch up. May have the potential to do so. Green seems to be a little bit out of it. And red still with a bit of a lead. So red still with a bit of a lead. Well, not a bit of a lead, it's a good lead. Blue seems to be struggling. Green is even closing the gap on her now. So there's a close race behind, while the Red House athlete is moving away nicely. Still blue, then green. At the top it's red. Red in charge for the moment. The other athletes here waiting might have other ideas in terms of catching up, and they would love to catch up, but red for the moment will pass off that baton first, and the Red House athlete now will be under pressure to continue to hold on to that lead. Green will pass off now. Seem a bit slow in the initial stages. Blue moving quickly, but at the top it's still red. Large and in charge for the moment. Totally unchallenged. Moving along nicely. So, red moving really well at this point. So, red holds that lead. Moving well, and will now go on to the final 100 meters before she passes her teammate, anxiously waiting for that baton. She keeps the momentum, pretty good clip, and will pass off just about now. Red House with a really good lead, and another one of the top athletes for the day. She's finishing, and good choice as well. The other two athletes still struggling. Green and blue, ever true. Blue comes ahead for the moment and will pass off to her teammate. Gets out of the block, getting some encouragement. And then we have Greenhouse. She's also a good athlete, and she's trying to catch up. She's a very good 400-meter athlete as well. This is her kind of race. And closing the gap already. Can she get past? Because it's a very determined blue. And she's getting some encouragement. But down at the top, winner by a mile is the Red House athlete. Storms home with ease. So we have the railway song here, green and blue. Nobody wants to come last. So this is the real race. This is the race, folks. Green and blue. Blue and green. Blue seems to be pulling away. Green is struggling. Green trying to hold on. Blue has a bit of a lead. Blue pulls away. Hear the screams as Blue gets there to take silver. It was a very good run. Hard run too. Well, another race is underway, and with the rain persisting, I think this might be our final event for the day. So once this race is concluded, I think we'll be packing up. There might be a couple more races after this, but I have a couple other things to deal with. So here goes. A definite leader. Gonna pass off first. And he's just about to pass off. He does. It looks like blue. And he's out of the blocks quickly. Then we have red and green. This race creating some excitement here. Bolo is the last one to pass off. He's struggling. Finally does though. So at the top. Can he hold on to that lead? He's moving along nicely. But green and red not too far off. But he's doing well so far. Holding his own. So this is the last race we're doing for the day. Here he goes, moving along nicely. The lights are not on, but it's getting pretty dark here at the Mondo. The baton will be passed off just about now. Baton is passed off. He would want to hold on to that lead, but he's going to be challenged. Definitely. Yes, Richard is in the mix. So it's going to be interesting because Gishad is a good athlete. And then Batney's been passed off here at the top though. Let's see how far Gishad is getting with this. But somebody else is making waves. So that lead has been taken down. Goes past him now. And Gishad is also threatening to do the same. So can Gishad catch up on the leader? First he has to catch up on the second placer. And this could be very interesting here. Gishad closing the gap. Closing the gap on both. He's going past the second placer now, and then he'll be heading to try to catch up on the leader of the pack. Well, Gishad now has been left behind because the other two have pulled away. And so now the baton has been passed. This is the big one, folks. This is the real deal. As the green staying close. Red is coming up on the blue. Blue is leading for the moment. It's a close one. All three. Close. It's a close one. Red goes past green. Red decides I want to go past blue as well. And so it's blue and red at the top. Green in the seller position. But green trying to make a comeback. He's a very determined athlete. Green is coming back. Green is making a comeback. Green is in the mix. All three of them with a chance here. All three of them with a chance here. What's going to happen here? Red, blue, green, green, blue, red. Red with a slight lead. Blue trying to come back. Red has pulled away. Red takes it. Blue and then green. Very good race. And what a way to conclude. That's where we're going to leave you from the Mondo today. Well, there's one more athlete coming through. He got the baton late. And here he comes to complete the race. That's where we're going to leave you from the Nevis Athletic Stadium today.